good evening to you, and thank you for joining us tonight at 9 on the CW and on the First Alert 7 YouTube.
Topping our news tonight, it is Election Day. The polls have closed and results are now starting to come in. And we will start with the current reports out of Ector County that show Cal Hendrick leads in early voting over Javier Hoven, the incumbent, 69% to 31%. Jensen Young is following this race for us. He joins us now live from Javier Hoven's watch party.
Of course, this was a hotly contested race. Jensen, how is it going out there?
Yeah, here at Dos Amigos right now for the watch party for Javier Hoven, as well as we should be expecting Denise Swanner and Mark Mata. It's still pretty quiet right now at Dos Amigos. Javier Hoven was here earlier. He has since left for a little bit. We are yet to see Denise Swanner and yet to see Mark Mata, but yeah, not a whole lot of people here at the moment, so not a whole lot of discussion really, but we'll hear more from Javier Hoven and the others when they do arrive. But yes, a lot of the vote is already in. A lot of people were voting when I was at some of the polling locations, so it's good to see everyone out there exercising their right to vote. We'll obviously find out the results of the race very soon, so looking forward to that. But yes, if you want to follow us, continue to watch here on First Alert 7 or website at firstalert7.com. That's all from me from here at Domingos. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Jensen. We're going to move on now to Midland County. Another big race for Midland City Council. Now, they had 2 at-large positions open, so the top 2 vote getters will be elected. Current reporting shows John Burkholder leading with 32% of the vote, Robin Poole with 28% of the vote, Eric Davidson with 24% of the vote, and Rance Norton with 7,348 votes. This is still a close race, and only 9 of 21 voting centers have been reported so far there in Midland County, so we are going to keep our eyes on that race.
Yeah, a lot of counting still to be done. Let's go back to Odessa City Council at large. Current reports show that Craig Stoker leads. These are early voting totals. 57% to 43% over the incumbent Denise Swanner. Again, there are a lot of votes still yet to be counted. Those votes today, these are early voting totals.
In Midland City Council District 1's seat, Brian Stubbs leading by 72% of the vote. Heather Bredemis with 28% of the vote there for that District 1 seat.
Back to Odessa City Council District 1. Eddie Mitchell with the lead over Mark Mata right now, the incumbent. 64% to 36%. Again, early votes and about 1,000 or so that separate those two.
And the Midland City Council has another seat open. This is Odessa, I should say, City Council District 2 seat. Stephen Thompson, the incumbent, leading there with 61% of the vote to Nayeli Urias's 39%. Isabella Garriga also live tonight with Stephen Thompson there in Odessa.
He would fill the District 2 seat on the City Council according to early voting. Isabella joins us with the latest. Isabella?
All right, I'm here with Mr. Steve Thompson, incumbent. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going inside there right now and kind of about the support that you see in there?
It's just been terrific. It's a wonderful party. A lot of old-time friends showed up, and we just having a ball celebrating the fact that that we got a council elected and a mayor elected, that we can move forward in the city. We've got a lot of great opportunities, and I feel like that we can really move forward now and get some things done. It's a really an atmosphere of optimism, and it's really glad to be part of it.
Yeah, and obviously the numbers are saying something, and so what do you feel, and how are you feeling about those numbers and that support you feel?
Well, it just tells me that you know, people aren't stupid. They understand what's going on. They understand private agendas, and our you know, the people that made this city are you know, they work from the what I call the bootstraps up. They're working folks, and they understand, you know, what's the right thing and the wrong thing to do, and they just want to make the city better, and I think that's why we got all the support we got. And this is a sweeping change, and I think it's very important for people to understand what happened here tonight. It's very monumental.
Yes, I agree. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the other numbers or anything else?
No, it's just I'm looking forward to getting back to work. We got the sports complex coming up. We've gotten that off track, and the financing's coming along. We're getting ready to The groundbreaking has already gone on, and we got people out there working. So that's exciting, and we have so many good things going on. We just got to get the roads and the infrastructure fixed.
Yep, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you back here at 10 with an interview from Mr. Hendricks.
Isabella, thanks. The city of Midland had a proposition on the ballot that would see about 4 acres of land to be given to the Midland Soup Kitchen Ministry so they could expand. As you can see, it's overwhelmingly passing. Now, this is early voting still. Some votes to be counted today, but that's a lot of ground to make up.
We might be able to call.
89% to 11% for, so good to see that they'll be able to expand that if that holds on.
Now, a closer race, the proposition to change the tax rate for the Ector County Hospital District. 52% right now voting against, with 48% voting for. This, of course, would expand hospital services into the county. But again, this one is quite close, only about a little over 1,000 votes between that. So that one could change.
The $355 million bond for Odessa College is also down at this point, 54% to 46%, but also close if you look at the numbers there, about 2,100 votes, 2,200 votes maybe separating that. So it's still a close race. They have not counted votes from today.
Midland ISD trustees race had a lot of seats open. District 1 has Michael Booker, the incumbent, right now leading with 55% of the vote. Denise Norman with 24% of the vote, about 802 votes, and Courtney Ratliff with 22% of the vote right now.
Let's move to Midland ISD District 2. Angel Hernandez and Robert Marquez. Angel Hernandez with 65% of the vote to Robert Marquez's 35%.
And in District 4, this one's a little closer. Matt Freese with 53% of the vote, almost 3,000 votes there. And Emily Staton-Smith with 47% of the vote. But again, only about 300 votes difference in that race so far. Let's
go to Midland ISD District 7. Joshua Gwynn right now leading over Brian Murray, 54% to 46%, and there's about 400 votes there that separate the two.
County Commissioner Precinct 3 race saw Luis Sanchez, the incumbent, running against newcomer Stephen Villela. Right now, Stephen Villela taking that away with 61% of the vote to Sanchez's 39%.
We're going to go to the Ector County Utility District. We'll start first with Director Position 1, Jesus Sanchez, with 67% of the vote to Stephanie Shaw's 33%. Again, this is early voting totals.
Sticking with ECA, the Director Position 3 race, Daryl Pondo with 51% of the vote and Penny Wilkerson with 49% of the vote. One of the closest races we have tonight, with only about 30 votes separating the two of them.
That's close. ECA Director Position 4, John Kelly and Linda Hall. John Kelly with 64% of the vote, Linda Hall with 36%. We have results from counties all over West Texas. That's up on our website at firstalert7.com. You're taking a live look at that right now. Several school districts have propositions on the ballot, including Fort Stockton ISD and Coahoma ISD. City of Alpine also has several amendments to the city charter on the ballot. And there, of course, are state and national races that we are following as well, including several seats in the U.S. House of Representatives and the Railroad Commissioner's race. So a lot.
Whew.
Take a breath right now, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to talk your weather forecast right now to give us a chance to take a break. Temperatures beginning to cool down now as the sun's gone down.
That's right, but it has been a lovely election day. Hope everyone was able to get their votes out today without too much trouble. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Teefer-Teller. Tom?
Yeah, weather was great today. In fact, let's take a look at these high temperatures. It was just picture perfect out there with lots of sunshine. Upper 60s across most areas, so you couldn't ask for anything better on Election Day. It's turned into a great evening as we have lots of clear skies. Moon is up there and shining brightly this evening. As temperatures have cooled off quite a bit, we're now down into the lower 50s already, the upper 40s up towards the Hobbs area. So we're on our way to another chilly night out there as current winds, they are relatively light, calm winds right now in Odessa. And that's what we're seeing for the most part, with not too many gusts above 15 miles an hour. So again, quiet, clear, and cold overnight tonight, as we'll see temperatures drop down into the mid 40s out there for early morning hours. But tomorrow, though, warming up by about 10 degrees or so over what we saw today. It's all ahead of another cold front. It's going to bring some more fall chill. We'll talk about that coming up here in a few minutes.
We are turning back now to some of the bigger state races. In the race for Texas Senator, Ted Cruz with 53% of the vote. This was always expected to be a close race, but Colin Allred falling behind with 45% of the vote in Texas.
Let's look at the presidential race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And right now in Texas, this is the way it looks. And by the way, AP has declared Donald Trump as the winner in Texas based on these numbers. And so if that holds true, that would be 40 those electoral votes that would go toward him. Yes. U.S. House of Representatives, District 23, and this has already been declared as a win. In fact, I saw this on Associated Press just a minute ago. Tony Gonzalez with 62% of the vote, winning that race pretty easily.
We're turning now to the race for Railroad Commissioner. Of course, a big race for lots of oil and gas workers here in West Texas. Christy Craddock, the incumbent, taking that with 56% of the vote. Not a huge surprise there. She has been in that spot for quite some time.
She also dominated Midland. That's where she's from. So we're going to go to some news now. We are tracking crime. A man was shot and killed in Ector County at about 5:30 this morning on the west side of Odessa. That's according to the Ector County Sheriff's Office. They say deputies were called to a gunshot victim in the 3500 block of Flint Avenue. The victim, Marcos Criddle, was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Anthony Bernardino Cortez Mandarete was detained at the scene. He admitted to shooting Criddle during an interview. The sheriff's office asked that anyone with information about this shooting should contact the sheriff's office.
And in Midland County, a caretaker has been arrested for criminally negligent homicide in the death of an elderly person who was under this woman, Paula Stiles' care. The elderly person sustained multiple injuries under her care and later died as a result of those injuries. This woman is in custody in Midland County.
Still to come, control of the White House, just part of the story on this election day. Up next, how the House and Senate results could affect Congress. Control of the White House is just part of this story on this election day as races for the House and Senate, which decide which party holds the majority in Congress, also in play.
Millions of voters are weighing in on one of the hottest topics this election, and that is access to abortion. Danya Bacchus reports from the battleground state of Arizona.
Florida, we did it!
Florida voters re-elected Republican Senator Rick Scott. CBS News projects the incumbent fought off a challenge from Democrat Debbie Mucarsel-Powell.
Together we get to celebrate a great victory tonight.
In West Virginia, CBS News projects Republican Jim Justice has flipped the seat to red, replacing retiring Democrat Joe Manchin. And in deep red Montana, Democrat John Tester is in a fight for political survival against former Navy SEAL Tim Sheehy. 34 seats are at stake for the Senate, which Democrats currently control by a slim 2-seat margin. 12 key races could decide the balance. Here in Arizona, Republican Carrie Lake fought an uphill battle against Ruben Gallego.
I want to go to Washington, D.C. and make you proud.
Over in the House, Democrats are trying to chip away at the Republican majority in razor-thin races in California and New York. Also on the ballot this year, the fallout to the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Millions of Americans were asked to weigh in on abortion access.
My individual rights are super important, as are my girls.
I don't think women's rights is the #1 issue for America right now.
10 states are weighing ballot measures that would guarantee a right to abortion. That includes Florida, where supporters would need 60% of the vote to roll back the state's 6-week ban.
It's a right the woman to choose.
It's an issue that has mobilized voters and could boost turnout at the polls. Danya Backus, CBS News, Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, we are going to be looking at another chilly morning and then some changes after that, but another front's on the way. We'll talk about all that coming up next.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, it was a wonderful day across West Texas this election day. Saw temperatures into the upper 60s. Not a lot going on in the skies across West Texas. This is a very quiet evening out there. Nothing on the satellite and radar view anywhere in the viewing area at the present time. Now, here's what's going on in the upper levels. We're seeing, again, a lot of dry air in place. We're watching this next storm system here. That's the one that's going to bring another cold front in. Possibility of showers and thunder showers into our forecast coming up for the about the Thursday, early Friday time frame before things clear out just in time for area football games at end of the weekend. Right now across the state, we're seeing some high cloudiness try to approach from New Mexico, but overall though, it is pretty quiet across the state, and we saw temperatures today very fall-like across most locations. A little warmer along the Texas Gulf Coast and the South Texas lower 80s, but a taste of fall in Dallas, 68 degrees, 67. Again, out at the Midland International Air and Spaceport, so the makings of a very nice day. Now, the Futurecast is showing not too much cloud cover here over the next 24 hours. We'll start off Wednesday on a quiet note and continue that way for tomorrow afternoon. There may be a few high clouds late try to move in, but then we'll see low cloudiness build back in across West Texas for the daytime hours on Thursday. But we got this little clear spot, and with the approach of that next storm system, here's where we could see some showers, thunder showers blossom and move across into the evening hours. Looks like the best threat area for stronger storms is going to be off to our east and southeast, but nonetheless, though, some rain is a possibility into early Friday morning before things start to clear out. So for the rest of tonight, here's what we are looking at, seeing those temperatures into the lower 40s overnight tonight. So things look to be rather quiet for most areas. And then for tomorrow, we'll be looking at those temperatures again into the mid to upper 70s. So about a 10-degree warm up in the forecast, even some 80s breaking out around Fort Stockton, Presidio, and along the Rio Grande. First Alert 7 10-day forecast. Again, the changes are on the way with that front moving in coming up on Thursday. About a 40% chance of showers, thunder showers into the evening, early part of the overnight before things clear out. Then we'll see drier west-northwest winds roll in with some chillier air, dropping temperatures all the way back down to 38 by Saturday morning.
Up next here at 9, hear about one small business in West Texas looking to help make people feel good and look good. Up next.